4 in the morning does not feel early in Nueva Ecija. It feels like the only hour that still belongs to him. Almost 10 at night in Metro Manila, and the day is just beginning for her. Before the rest of the house wakes, she is already awake. 5:30, and the room is awake before he is. 4 people, 4 professions, 4 lives that on paper have nothing to do with each other. And yet, before any of them had earned a single peso today, all 4 had already given something. Nobody made them compare notes. They never will. But somewhere between 4 in the morning and 10 at night, they were all doing the same thing. We spent 4 episodes watching these 4 lives separately. We never asked what they had in common. This episode asks a different question, not what happened to them. Why do 4 completely different mornings keep ending in the same gesture? Payday comes on the 15th and the 30th. For a few minutes, it is just a number. Then it starts to move. It goes to her parents. Nobody asks her for it. She said it herself months ago without meaning to hand us a method. Put the money back in the order it actually happened and something starts to show. So that is what the rest of this episode is going to do. To all 4 of them, at once. From a tin box under the bed, Ambo takes a 50 peso bill that has passed through more hands than he can count. At the cooperative, the seed and the fertilizer are already written down before a single grain has touched water. He signs where he's told to sign. The harvest is 4 months away. The debt begins today. A marker, almost dry, replaced with a new one. Bond paper folded into her bag. Black and white, po, she says. 50 copies. She pays for both without checking her phone for the balance first. No lesson has happened yet. The materials come first. They always do. He sets a new pair of shoes on the bed, a size larger than the last. Tape across the center seam first, then the corners, reinforced twice. He checks the label once. Whatever is inside this box, no one at home will know it for days. He is already sure of what he gave. He has no idea yet what it will mean on the other end. A harvest, a worksheet, a project, turned in on time, a shoe that finally fits. Nothing they gave first was wasted. Somebody else's day kept going because of it, but none of them decided how much or when. None of them villains, none of them even in the room. None of these 4 people were ever behind. They were just always asked to go first. A tin box, a red pen, a smaller milk tea than she'd planned on, a corner taped twice. None of it looks like infrastructure, but something moved through every one of them on time before anyone had to ask. The question isn't what these 4 should have done differently. 4 episodes never suggested otherwise. Has this ever actually changed for anyone? Some households now fill a small envelope before the remittance goes out, a reserve for an emergency that hasn't happened yet, instead of something they'll have to ask for after it does. Just the order changed. The safety net moved ahead of the obligation. It only works if there's anything left to set aside. A few companies now pay a separate allowance for the data and phone plan a night shift actually needs. named for what it is, not folded into a bigger number. A cost is harder to hide once it has its own name. Most companies would rather it stayed folded in. In some provinces, cooperatives now pool a shared buffer against a bad season, so one failed harvest doesn't fall on one farmer alone, the way Ambos does every year. The risk gets spread instead of carried by one. It takes years of trust most cooperatives don't have. A handful of local programs now supply classroom materials directly, instead of leaving teachers to buy them and wait months to be repaid. The gap just gets shorter. Sometimes it disappears. It depends on the budget that has the money to begin with. None of these four examples fix the pattern. They only prove it can move. Ambo is already planting next season, before the dam has told him what kind of year it's going to be. The teacher is already checking tomorrow's lesson plan. A line added she didn't have this morning. She is already smiling a little, milk tea in hand, a little later and a little smaller than she'd first pictured it. He is already asleep. A new box already started in the corner of the room. Flaps closed, but not yet sealed. None of them know each other. None of them ever will. But it's the same story, 4 times over. Pepito sits, notebook open, longer than he usually does. He writes. I keep different hours in different houses. I never noticed, until this year, that they were all keeping the same one. He closes the notebook,